Sorry, I'll just do take two of this. So, there was a subject matter that really interested me that I really wanted to touch on, and that was this perception of online bullying being a revenge of the nerds type of situation. And there was this theory going around that a lot of people who are online bullies, back in their youth or whatever, there are people who are online bullies who, back in their youth, were the ones getting beaten up and having their heads shoved in lockers. It was one particular celebrity that said that, which kind of compelled me to make this video. But truth be told, they're not the only ones who have said that. This is something that's been going around. This is something that a lot of people have said. So all this celebrity has done is basically said what so many other people are saying. And the reason I don't mention their name is because A, I don't want their fans jumping on my page with the bullshit. And another thing is that I don't want detractors of theirs coming on my page with the bullshit. So that's why I don't mention their name. And I also point out that this celebrity is not the only person that said this. They're not the only ones that have mentioned it, right? So I wanted to talk about it because it was really interesting. Now, I don't know if my position is all that unique. I've been the bully and I've been bullied. I've thrown hands and I've had hands thrown on me, okay? So I feel like from the perspective of having being both, that I feel like I can accurately ascertain exactly what this person is talking about or exactly what motive is behind the words that come out of their mouth. Usually, when people say it's the same ones that got their heads shoved in lockers that are verbally vicious now, what I hear is these same people are afraid of losing the power that they have from fucking people up. That's what I get. I get whenever I hear that, cyber bullies were the nerds in school and they've become the people they hate. No, you're not worried about that from a moral perspective. You're just worried about losing your power and that your physical bullying of somebody might not be enough for you anymore. Now there's a different type of playing field when it comes to bullying, when it comes to abuse, when it comes to shutting people up, when it comes to making people feel bad about themselves. There's a new playing field out here right now. It's all virtual, and you don't know how to handle that. You can't throw hands on basically anybody who says one wrong thing to you. So now you're lashing out and you're trying to make out like these so-called nerdy people hiding behind their keyboards are, the same people that they hate, the same people that they hated in high school. It gives me very much Count Olaf from a series of unfortunate events when people are gathered round to rock his shit for hurting those children. Now he's turning around and saying, well, if you attack me, you're just stooping to my level. It's very that. Do you understand what I mean? Listen, there are some people in this world who are physically stronger than others. There are some people in this world who are at their best when they operate face to face. There are some people who are at their best with, who are at their best working behind the scenes or talking behind someone's back. We all have our ways of getting our anger out and getting justice done our way. We all have our ways of doing that. For instance, right, I've come online and I've talked a lot about how my perps are cowards, because they usually are. I've talked about how my perps are cowards and how they like to talk shit and they're not even good at talking shit, but they keep going on and on and on. But the truth of the matter is, right, it wasn't actually what they were doing that was pissing me off. It was the hypocrisy of it. Because it's like, you talk behind a door, but you talk behind a door in order to get a rise out of me. Suddenly you're the victim in the situation. But if I talk behind a camera or I talk behind a keyboard, suddenly I'm braggadocious. Suddenly I'm not stepping up to the plate like that. Do you understand what I mean? So it was actually the hypocrisy that was pissing me off. As much as I talk shit about other people being cowards, for me there is no bigger cowardice than hypocrisy. So when people complain about, physical bullies, people who were physical bullies in school, complaining about people being verbal bullies now. Shut up. let me tell you something. When it comes to how this world operates through a hierarchical system where the nastiest sons of bitches are the ones who are at the top. It's do or die, bitch. Okay? If you feel like you can't win through the way that you used to win, get used to a new way. It's as simple as that. Okay? If you want to continue to be physically bullying and continue to lose your power, then by all means do that. But what you don't get to do is decide how other people channel their anger, decide how other people, choose to unleash the pain that they went through in high school, that they went through in their past. Just like we don't get to dictate to you how you unleash your pain from what your parents did to you. We don't get to do that. We don't get to do that. So, like, for me, why are you complaining about online bullies when you're the main ones going out cracking skulls and shit? You think that's good? And then, again, this is coming from somebody who has won fights and lost fights physically and verbally. This is coming from somebody who has done both. What are you doing? For real. Because if you're honest with yourself about why you're complaining about avenging the nerds and shit, you're only doing it because now you can't throw hands. You can't see the people who are wounding you to your core. You can't see them. You can't perceive them. You can't touch them. You can barely find out where they live because the IP addresses can be changed on a whim. You don't know where these people are or even who these people are, and it's hurting your soul. And whereas before you could rock somebody's shit just for saying the wrong thing one time, now you can't even slap somebody in the face for getting at you repeatedly. That is called karma. That is called karma when that happens. So that, for me, it's just an inability to accept karma. That's A. And B, it's simply you looking for the same power that you used to have through throwing your hands at people. That's basically all it is. It's nothing more than that. It is nothing more than that. Okay? And the biggest revenge of the nerds are the ones who are running this planet anyway. The ones who are running this planet are fucking huge nerds. They're nerds of the highest fucking order. And the people doing the dirty work for them are people like you. People who are physically strong, people who are social, people who are popular. You are the fucking henchmen. And that reality is still not sitting in with you. And that's one of the reasons why you like to come after cyber bullies and say, knowing you're a bully yourself, knowing you're a physical bully yourself, you want to come after cyber bullies and say, oh, they're like the people they hate. And? And? So what? So what? We're in a new school of abusiveness, darling. So you can go ahead and sign in and have a seat. We're in a new age now. People can still go and split heads. That's true. People are still doing that. But there's also a new avenue through which people's, feelings can be ruined or their lives can be ruined. But again, that's just karma. That's just what happens. If you're a physical bully and you've gone around cracking people's skulls open or beating people up just for saying one word wrong to you, not even like, like outwardly disrespectful or bullying you repeatedly, just saying one thing wrong to you was enough for you to throw hands. Now you want to turn around and dictate how somebody else uses their power. Like, where the fuck do you get off saying that the only acceptable way to handle your anger is to throw hands? And bear in mind, that's exactly what you're saying. You want to be in a playing field where you can win, but cyberbullying does not allow you to do that. Cyberbullying does not allow you to do that. It does not allow you to be in a playing field where you can win. Somebody can ruin your life. Somebody can ruin your feelings, ruin your emotions, and you will never know who they are. And that fucking scares you. But that is what you get when you go around cracking people's skulls open just for saying one wrong word to you. Not even bullying you, for saying one wrong word. It's different from me. I'm a TI. I've been ready to go. There are times where I'm ready to go to prison over some motherfuckers messing with me for fucking a whole solid year or something. I've been ready to go to jail several times for somebody fucking with me for a whole solid year, but that's a whole solid year. Almost 2 years. Like literally it took years of bullying for me to get to a place to say, you know what, I want to crack somebody's head open right now. It takes me years to get there. But for some of you motherfuckers talking about how cyber bullies are, they're just nerds who became bullies themselves. Like, no, shut the fuck up. Somebody said one wrong thing to you and you fucked them up. No, that's not on the same level. You just want the power that you used to have and you want to be able to get away with it. That's it. That's all. It's got nothing to do with morals. It's got nothing to do with being in the right. Again, there is a new form of competition, a new form of rivalry in town. You either adapt to it and learn how to use it to your advantage, or you just get the fuck out of the way. But one thing you shouldn't do is you shouldn't dictate to people how they choose to win. You chose to win one way when you were in high school. You chose to win one way when you were in high school. You chose to win one way when you were in a certain situation. Now these people are choosing to win another way, or in a way they know how. You don't get to dictate that so that you can constantly be on the win. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. That's why I find it interesting. It's interesting how, we've got people who, and it's not even just people who are physical bullies. We've also got bigots coming out making the same argument. When somebody comes down on somebody who is like racist or sexist or transphobe or what have you, then suddenly like you're trying to rob them of their freedom of speech, and suddenly the so-called left are the Nazis that they fought against. I'm like, no, you just want your power. You just want the power that you used to have from being bigoted. It's coming back around, yeah. But you just want the power that you used to have from being bigoted. You just want that power back. You don't even examine where it comes from. You don't even examine what it does for you in the long run. You don't examine what it does for you or society in the long run. You don't care about whether or not it actually benefits you to behave like that. You just want that hit of dopamine from crushing somebody's spirit where you can see where you can see yourself doing it. You just want that fucking dopamine of crushing somebody's spirit or demeaning them or making them afraid in the same way that you have been your entire life for no good reason. Or because your parents were abusing you, one of the two. But you want the dopamine rush of making somebody afraid. And now that your type of making somebody afraid is not on vogue anymore, suddenly you feel like you're in the moral right. You're not in the moral right. You never were. Stop it. If you want power, you know what to do. You can just sit around and complain about fucking internet nerds while you make up your mind. I've been cyberbullied too. And whilst I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, I think cyber nerds are, not cyber nerds, but cyberbullies. I feel like cyberbullies are a special type of scumbag. I do. I'm not saying they're not, but I'm just saying that stop acting like your objection to them is a moral one. It's not a moral one. I'm a targeted individual. I've been subject to every kind of abuse known to man. I'm telling you right now that there is no form of abuse that is more noble than another form of abuse. Abuse is fucking abuse. If you're smacking somebody in the face just for saying one wrong thing to you once, you're a fucking abusive cunt. If you are online as a cyber, as a cyber bully, and you're online dragging somebody for no reason, you're an abusive cunt. There is no getting around that. There is no getting around that. You are what you are. Stop trying to make yourself look better in comparison to your counterparts. I don't care if you're a cyber bully, you're a physical bully, you're still a bully, you're still full of shit. And you're still soft as shit. Admit what you are and move on. And admit that you want the power of making somebody afraid because you feel afraid every single fucking day of your life. Just admit that and move the fuck on. In the meantime, whatever weapons I have at my arsenal with anybody who bothers me, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it because in this world, it's do or die. There is, I will always have love in my heart for my fellow targets. I will always have love in my heart for certain communities in this world. But let me tell you something right now, when it comes to me and my will to survive, I come first and I'm going to use whatever I have at my disposal. So I don't want to hear about how, oh, you're just as bad as me. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. You might not be the villain number one anymore. You might be the Cersei, like physical bullies might be the Cersei to the cyber bullies Daenerys, but you're still a fucking bully. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. About you want to fucking split heads over one wrong thing somebody says to you, and then go around flexing like it's something to be proud of. And then when cyberbullies do the exact same thing, they hide their faces, hide their names and shit like that. Oh, you're coward, say that to my face. No, they don't have to say shit to your face. They don't owe you that. Nobody owes you that. Accept your karma and move on. Because I guarantee you then people are going to get theirs anyway. Thing about bullying is that it's a cycle that never ends. It's a cycle that never ends. Them same people that these physical bullies are complaining about, the cyber bullies are going to get theirs. They're not going to escape karma either. You think they're going to escape it? No way in hell. There's a certain blogger right now who's millions of pounds and millions of dollars in debt. Karma's already coming back around. But damn, man, like you want to complain about your loss of power. It's the entitlement for me. You want to complain about the loss of power, because you can't smash heads anymore and that doesn't give you the same power it used to. So now you want to come after people who use their verbal power. Sit down. For real. Sit down. You know what I mean? When it comes to, I want to talk to abuse victims and survivors right now, right? I want to talk to you guys. I don't care what type of defense that you have to employ, right? Whatever your strengths are, play to them. Or whatever your weaknesses are, play to them. Because when it comes to your survival, if you are too busy thinking about whether somebody, I've had to learn this too. If you're too busy thinking about what's cowardly and what isn't, and if you're too busy thinking about what's brave and what isn't, and if you're too busy thinking about, what other people would think the right thing to do is, if you're too busy thinking about that and you're not thinking about being yourself or your own survival, then you're only working at half-mast. Just do you. And this is specifically to abuse victims and survivors, not to abusers. Abusers, you need to sit down somewhere. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people who are abuse victims. Use what you have at your disposal your way. If you need to survive, you need to survive. And I know that the likelihood is that when you make the decision that you're going to survive no matter what, and you're going to pull yourself up out of the mud, people might get hurt. People might get hurt. It's true. It's true. You don't get to, defend yourself without some collateral around you. You don't get to do that. And when you hurt, because the thing is, It's just like I said about the perps with gang stalking. When you hurt another person, you don't just hurt that other person. When a perp hurts a TI, they don't just hurt that TI, they also hurt anybody else that the TI might be interacting with. I mean, in gang stalking, this is quite literally done on purpose, but the same actually applies if you're an abuse victim or survivor and you are coming up against an abuser or somebody that you have been harmed, you have experienced harm from, right? You're not just targeting them, you're targeting the people around them too. And unfortunately, some of those people may not have done a goddamn thing to you, or they might be innocent themselves. But it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing to defend yourself. Defending yourself comes with collateral. And you have to kind of mitigate that collateral and think to yourself, okay, right now what I'm doing is not great. I have to mitigate what I'm doing, try to minimize the harm that I do to people who haven't done a thing to me, or like I have to minimize that. But you can minimize it, but you can't avoid it. And this is exactly what I'm saying when these abusers get up here and talk about, oh, they're just as bad as me, ain't yeah, and so you're admitting that you're a cunt. You're admitting that you're terrible. That's why when these abusers get up here and talk their shit, say, oh, we can't be bigoted anymore. We can't punch people in the face anymore. We can't throw hands on people anymore. Like, again, like if you're going to use your strength, other people should be able to use theirs. That's what you do in a war, isn't it? How are you gonna engage in warfare, be the main ones kicking it off, and then you're gonna complain when other people best you? That was always going to happen. And as for like this whole thing, this whole competition as to which bully is better, neither bully is better, because again, there's always collateral damage. And like I said, to the abuse and victim trafficking, abuse victims and trafficking victims and abuse and trafficking, just like I say for abuse victims and survivors, right? You're not going to defend yourself without collateral. You're not going to do it without collateral. So if even the people who have every right to defend themselves can't do that shit without collateral and can't do that shit without karma coming back round to bite them in the ass, what makes you think you can do the same thing without karma coming back round to bite you? Yeah, it's the hypocrisy for me. So to kind of sum up everything, I don't know if I made much sense, because I usually don't make much sense in these rants, or at least I don't until I look back at the video. To kind of cap everything off, all right? When it comes to physical bullies, you had your moment in the sun, let it the fuck go. So it's either you can continue to be the physical bully, or you can let it the fuck go and accept your karma and accept what's coming, or at least prepare for your karma, right? When it comes to physical bullies, either accept your licks or shut up. When it comes to cyber bullies, I hope you're ready for the shitstorm that you got coming, because the amount of shit that you're prepared to do, hacking to people's, not even just like saying mean things online, but actively hacking to people's shit, steal people's intellectual property. I hope you're ready for the fucking boomerang that's coming your way too. I hope you're ready for the boomerang that you got coming as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. But don't act like you complaining about losing your power is moral. It's not moral. And you know damn well it isn't. So, anyway. I don't know if any of that made sense. Did that make sense? I don't know. But yeah, as for abuse and trafficking victims, use what you have at your disposal. If you're physically stronger, then use your physicality. If you're mentally stronger, use your mentality. If you're emotionally stronger, use that. Whatever it is you have at your disposal, use it, but understand it doesn't come without karmic consequences. And then prepare accordingly. You know what I mean? So, yeah. People complaining about losing their power, and they want to act like it's that's what losers in a war always do. They always act like their fucking, their fucking loss is like like it's suddenly a downfall of morality. Like, please stop it. Please stop it. Please stop it. Anyway, I gotta go. I think that's it for now for this rant. I'm gonna be doing a reading tomorrow at 4 p.m. for May Day. And it's going to be for May 2023. I've also got a full moon reading that I think I'm going to be doing the May 2023 reading tomorrow, and then the full moon reading the next day. Where's the full moon reading going to be? Yes, full moon in Vishaka. So full moon has come back around to Vishaka. So I'm going to be reading for the full moon on the 2nd. And then when am I going to read for the new moon? I might read for the new moon next week, because next week I'm going to be away for a couple of days. I'll explain everything when I come back. It's going to shape up to be quite an interesting report back when I come back and I explain everything. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the new moon next week. So I'm going to do everything early, wrap it up, and then from the 12th to the 14th, it's likely that I won't be doing any readings because I'm going to be away. So, yeah, that's about it for my rant on bullying and power and all that kind of stuff. Again, it comes out garbled, and I don't quite know whether I make sense or not. So, but anyway, we'll see what happens next. I love you guys. Peace and blessings. Take care of yourselves. I love you so much, my fellow TIs. And for those who are not TIs, welcome. And for those who are perps, fuck you. You know how it is. You know the drill. So, take care. Bye. Bye-bye.